Everyone, my mama got me this for Christmas because I lost my old copy, Theory of Introduction to Theory of Computation by Michael Sipser, who is one of my favorites, and I used to carry this around in hopes that I'd see him in Boston and would get him to sign my textbook, but then I lost it. I used to have the second edition. Now I have the third. And my favorite theorem in this is theorem 3.16. It says that for every non-deterministic Turing machine, there is an equivalent deterministic Turing machine. That doesn't say anything about the strength of the Turing machines. That's not what it's saying. It's just saying that there's an equivalent Turing machine. However, I particularly like that theorem because how they prove equivalence is they turn configurations into node states that they traverse. These node states could be seen as distinct states of the Turing machine, so therefore configurations of non-deterministic Turing machines are turned into states in the deterministic Turing machine. In order to solve the reset, you'd have to be able to traverse all configurations for sigma star, which is necessarily infinite. So in order to solve the reset by just traversing your configurations, you would need an infinite number of configurations. So I can have an infinite number of states for um, unbounded uh, sigma star, unbounded input, and basically I construct a one, I can prove that with a rainbow table I can solve bounded computation for NP complete problems, and then contradiction arises if I can't have infinite Q due to theorem 3.16 in my Bible. Um, so can still construct the rainbow table, P equals NP. If you don't agree, think about it for a little bit and then come back to me. Also, we're going to have to resolve log time because y'all really screwed the pooch on that one. Knowledge is power. If the non-deterministic Turing machine doesn't have to read the input, then you've given something to that non-deterministic Turing machine that the deterministic Turing machine does not have. And if the deterministic Turing machine had that omniscience, then it could do what it could do deterministically. See? You guys are comparing omniscience to ignorance. You are not comparing non-determinism and determinism. When you see that, you'll see that you can only be in one state at once. So my theory is that non-deterministic Turing machines are deterministic Turing machines over time. Like a set of deterministic Turing machines. But if you get into that, you kind of have to redefine what is a deterministic Turing machine and make it kind of infinite. So I'm not gonna hold you to that, but I think it would be a cool paradigm shift if you went that direction. But NTMs equal DTMs. We can chat about log time. You don't have to take it. It's not necessary for my proof with rainbow tables, but if you'd like to take it, I'd really like to have a conversation with y'all about what you've done with log time, because when I was taking my advanced theory of computation course and my professor asked me to list problems that were in log time but or n log but not in log, I didn't list anything. But then I went on Wikipedia and listed the exact things that Wikipedia put, and then he was like, well, I didn't want you to just quote Wikipedia, but that is what he wanted me to do. He didn't want me to think for myself. He just wanted me to put down what the white guy said. So then I just Googled it and put down what the white guy said. To me, there exists no problem that's in nlog and not in log. But y'all are comparing omniscience versus ignorance, and your complexity classes of omniscience are way above ignorance. So, I can't argue with you on that one. But I understand what you've done with your verifiers versus your determiners, and since you can verify in log time, you say that it's whatever. But that's abstracting away from the problem and making it a different problem. And you kind of define the problem in a way that it shouldn't be defined through that. I think it's really funny that you can't guess the verifier, but you can guess the determiner. Can't guess the check, but you can guess the determination for non-deterministic Turing machines. I mean, both yes and no are available options. You can take them both and guess the check. I'm not gonna argue that point. That's just a small flaw that I've seen in your reasoning, but all I'm trying to show you is that P equals NP. Stop putting $1 million prize on it because that's fucking ridiculous. Einstein was a strict determinist. The passage of time is purely in our experience of it. At light speed, time doesn't pass. So, what is time? It's a block. Can't be anything else. Anyway, this is my rambling for tonight. I'm really excited that I got my book. It makes me really happy. Now I can, just stare at Theorem 3.16. I might just put it on my wall when I get home. It's my favorite one. But I'd also like to keep my book intact. So if I ever get it signed, it'd make me really happy. He just puts it's such simplistic logic. It's so pretty. It's almost as pretty as Spinoza's Ethics. Almost. Not quite. Not quite as pretty as Spinoza's Ethics, but almost as pretty as Spinoza's Ethics. If it weren't a textbook, I'd call it as pretty as Spinoza's Ethics. Because it's a textbook, nope. Anyway, that's my Bible. I got it back. I'm gonna carry it around. It makes me really happy. Merry Christmas, if you celebrate it. Happy late Hanukkah. I don't know when everything else is happening. I think Festivus already happened. But happy holidays. Merry New Year. Happy New Year.